So Ferrari's done, and what I did is I started last night. I put the first coat of the sealer on it. So what it does is it gives it a glossy finish because they all start out as matte. All the acrylic paint is matte colored or matte finish. So on both of these I have, you can see it starts to make everything shiny. And I don't want everything to be shiny, the base, because it makes it pop a little bit more when you have the car with the gloss paint and then the base with the matte. So what I use is this little finishing liquid, and this is also used for thinning out acrylic paint. It could also be used for the varnish at the end. So I did half the car, or I actually did almost the whole car. You can see the difference between the matte finish here and the glossy right here on it. So I'm going to put a second coat on it. And you don't want it to be too thick because it'll pool up in the corners and it doesn't look right. Makes it look kind of fake when it pools up. So I'm on purpose trying to keep the gloss out of the inside of the car. I just want it on the outside. I don't want it on the seat because the seats usually aren't glossy. They're usually like Alcantara or leather inside out back in the day. That I think they name branded to Alcantara. Try to do as much as I can without painting my fingers over. Oops. Be careful, drag that on the inside of the cockpit. You know, I can see I need to touch up this cockpit too. I got a couple spots that are uneven on the inside. At least looking on the inside of the microscope, I see that I need a little bit of a touch up. Nice and smooth. So I got that, and then I'll also do, this is the wing. So on the wing I do everything in gloss, as much as I can see. I'm gonna have to do one more touch up on this because I did the other side of the wing yesterday, and so I wanted to have two coats of gloss over this. And then I'll also do the wheels. So what I'll do in this, I'm not going to be crazy as on the gloss on the wheels. You don't want them to look too shiny. So I try to hold it where I painted yesterday, and then, or hold it where I glossed it yesterday, and then paint everything else. So I have even amount of semi-gloss over the whole thing. And then when I put that down, I want to put it down upside down so that it doesn't dry on top of the paint. Same thing on this. Where did I hold it? Where did I hold it? Like here and here. Okay, put that upside down. Pretty slow at the Porsche store today. I think they only sold one car. It's been pretty slow these past couple months. Salesmen are kind of concerned because it's been so long and it's been so slow. But I just think it's the auto industry in general. Everybody's slow. Everybody's feeling the aftermath of the COVID run up in prices, and people are upside down on their cars. They can't trade them in, even if they want to. So they're having to get other kind of cars or lease or buy cheaper cars or something. I mean, I'm sure the guys that are buying Porsches, they're not like overly concerned. They don't care if they had to pay over. This is just the bottom, the floor of the car. And I also gloss that over. I'm gonna have to touch this up too, because I see some edges here that will need some black. And the same thing here on the Ferrari. End plates, wings. How was your guys' day? How was your day? It's funny, I have a friend of mine at work that has a pretty good size YouTube channel. He has like 20,000 followers. And he, for the life of his channels, always refers to whoever's watching the videos as guys, as far as you guys. And I was trying to tell him that, you know, you should maybe try to make it a little bit more personal by not referring to guys and just refer to the viewer as a you, so that it's more like a one-on-one relationship. And he really liked that idea, but he's having such a hard time doing it. It's just, he's been doing it for so long, by whenever he talks to the camera says you guys, and he keeps cracking up. He has to stop himself and do it again, because he has to think super hard about, you know, when he's telling someone a solution to a problem or explaining an option on a car, he'll say you guys. So when you guys go to order, it's not a big deal. But it's just funny that he's on autopilot with saying you guys, that he's having a hard time doing what he wants to do. Like he said, he really wants to just say you, so that it's more personal. You see on the Ferrari, the wing is actually made of paper. Where on the Leyton house, the wing is made of stone. Two different ways that I do it. It depends on the car. Some cars look better, I think, with a more substantial front wing, which I'm kind of like torn 50-50 on. Did I already do this one? Yep. So this, I'm gonna come on this side, and I'm gonna start back here. You can see where this is matte and that's gloss. So I'll put a full layer back here. Most of this will get covered with the wings and the suspension and the the wing and the suspension, but you want to have it as consistent as possible. Same thing on this one. I'm gonna try not to get any gloss on the interior of the cockpit. Leave that leather seat as matte. And then everything else kind of pop, kind of catch the light in a cool way. Same thing with these metal pieces of the radiator outlets. Just kind of leave those as they are. The silver and the gold paint is actually not acrylic, it's enamel. Same enamel that you would use like if you were building a model car, a plastic model car. Has different properties that I like and sometimes don't like. I don't like the fact that it's the viscosity of it is hard to work with. So whereas acrylic flows nice, it's really easy to work with, but it dries super quick, which makes it tough. But and that's the opposite with enamel. Enamel takes a long time to dry. So like when I did the silver and then the gold of the alloys, I had to let it like dry overnight. I can't just like immediately, literally the acrylic will dry in like 15 minutes, and then I could go on and put another layer on it, but not with the enamel. That's an overnighter. But it just, I think the enamel looks better with the metal colors. I'm sorry, yeah, the enamel looks better with the metal colors than the acrylic. Actually, I don't even know if they make acrylic paint in sparkly or an aluminum look or a golden look, you know, that makes it look like metal. I have to check that out, because that would be the best of both worlds. Now, this is the first coat I'm putting on these wheels because of having to let that enamel dry. So I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow or even later tonight and put it on the opposite side. Well, actually, no, this gloss takes a good day to dry. It'll be tacky for a good 18 hours. Okay, so I got that done. I got the Leyton house done, the Ferrari done. That's already done and ready to go. And so that'll be it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.